एकदा to such a level ki he went beyond his teacher's understanding.
Okay.
And that proved to be a
Disaster for him.
Because it was not that much encouraged. Someone going outside
टीचरीपेक्षा हुशार जावप ना.
yeah, that is one lesson that I think he learnt
Okay.
that time. But he had a lot of problem in other subjects because he did not like them. Because he did not feel the need to learn
Study them, right.
So he did not pay much attention to them, and as we said, he had a lot of problems because of that. In fact, it went to such an extent that when he gave all the main theories that he gave in his life, he did not even have a PhD. Because no college thought he was very worthy of being taken in, given his mediocre background on paper. In his college class, once his professor also commented on him that you probably are not good for anything. But he went on to use his professor's concepts in his theory of relativity. And that is itself a very good thing. His professor, after that, looked up to him after he gave his theory of relativity. So, अशें जावपाक शकता की a kid might not do very well in everything.
In everything.
But that doesn't mean that you should stop him from doing what he is
Everybody is
very
special
good
in
at.
something.
Exactly, and that should be encouraged. That is one good reason why he went on to become who he is today.
Einstein.
He worked passionately towards something that he loved.
Failure ताच्या वाटेन येवपाक ताणें दिवूं ना.
Exactly, even though he was a patent office clerk, आयच्या काळान लोक सोडपाचे कितें आशिल्लें तें.
बरोबर.
They would have given up, but he did not. He pursued it as a hobby. He did what professionals couldn't do.
Exactly.
So you just need that passion and dedication.
म्हणजे तो एकेडमिकली ब्रायट नाशिल्लो आणि आपल्या प्रोफेशन सुद्धा ताजे सायन्स नाशिल्ले तरी तो ताज्यान भायर सरून वयर सरून ही गेव अस ऑल दॅट वी हॅव टुडे इन सायन्स.
Exactly. So it is possible. It is very much possible. You just need to spend time.
Because of his passion.
Because of his passion, yes, and dedication.
सो आता आमी आमच्या ऑलमोस्ट आय विल से लास्ट क्वेश्चनाचेर आयले विच इज वन ऑफ द बिगस्ट क्वेश्चन्स कंट्रिब्युशन्स. ओके, आमच्या सायन्साक आमच्या एंटायर युनिवर्स अंडरस्टँडींग जावपाक आयन्स्टायना शिवाय आमी अंडरस्टँड करूं शकनात. सो राज, वॉट वूड यू से आर द इम्पॉर्टंट कंट्रिब्युशन्स ऑफ सर आल्बर्ट आयन्स्टायन टू एवरीथिंग? हांव सायन्स म्हणना, टू एवरीथिंग.
ओके, आमी आतां पळयलें आसा की इन द इयर 1905 he put forth the theory of Brownian motion. Then he won the Nobel Prize for the photoelectric effect in science.
Okay.
And then he went on to give us the special theory of relativity in the same year 1905.
Okay.
This theory, as we know it, in other words, is it's synonymous with the equation E is equal to mc square. That is something that everyone relates to when someone thinks of Einstein or science or physics or things that they do not understand. So
E is equal to mc square.
Yes. So today we will try to work through it part by part and see what the equation has to say.
Okay.
What it means, what this equation means, is that energy, which here
E
in the
is the
formula
energy.
is written as E,
Energy
is in some terms equivalent to what we know as mass.
Mass, m.
Every object we say has some mass.
Mass.
Okay.
Okay.
So it says that mass is nothing but energy which is stored in an object at rest.
Okay. Okay.
If an object is at rest, it doesn't mean that the object has no energy. It means that the object has an energy which is equivalent to mass times the speed of light squared, that is c square.
Okay.
So here we are looking at ways of interchanging mass and energy.
म्हणजे energy, mass can be interchanged.
Interconverted. It is the same thing. Because it is the same thing, you can go from one thing to the other and back. And this has had very, very much
implications हाजे खूप झाले.
disastrous at times.
Implication, correct.
Disastrous
Exactly.
at times, because energy, when you release a large amount of energy, you have
atom bomb.
Devastation. You have the atom bomb.
Yeah. So can we say that he is the father of atom bomb?
we cannot say he's the father of the atom bomb, but
the theory behind it.
The theory behind it was motivated by nothing but
E is equal to mc square.
E equals mc square.
Here's a graph of a car traveling due east at its maximum speed of 100 miles per hour. It is making no progress in the northward direction. All of its speed is going east. Now let's turn a little to the northeast. Even though the car is still doing 100 miles per hour, it is going less than 100 miles per hour in the east direction, because some of the speed is being used to go north as well. Space and time can be thought of in the same way. Everything in the universe is traveling through space and time at the speed of light, the maximum speed available. Picture time replacing east and space replacing north in the car example. If you are sitting still in space, not going north, you are traveling at the maximum speed through time, east. But if you start moving in space, north, your progress through time will slow down, since some of your speed has been diverted. The faster you go through space, the slower your progress through time. If you could travel at the speed of light in the space direction, you would make no progress in the time direction at all. Time would stand still, as it does for a beam of light. And if you could go faster than the speed of light, you could travel backwards in time. It wasn't just our idea about space and time that were altered by Einstein's theory of relativity. Einstein also realized that we should have to reconsider the whole idea of energy. If we look closely at a proton in a particle accelerator, it is easy for scientists to see that only some of the energy that we apply actually increases the speed of the particle. The remainder simply increases the mass of the particle. The faster it goes, the heavier it gets. When it is traveling at almost the speed of light, almost all of the energy we apply just makes it heavier. That is why a particle with mass can never reach the speed of light. It gets heavier instead of going faster. This fact is summed up in Einstein's most famous equation, perhaps the most famous equation in all of science. E equals mc squared. Besides defining the energy of a body at rest, the equal sign also indicates that matter can be converted into energy, and vice versa. The conversion factor, the speed of light squared, is an enormous number. According to Einstein's equation, a tiny bit of mass can be converted into an enormous amount of energy. But there's more to E equals mc squared than atomic bombs. The recognition that mass can be converted into energy made it possible to understand the source of energy of the sun and the stars, still a mystery in Einstein's day. It also paved the way for the exploration of the mysterious realm within the atom, and the discovery of a whole menagerie of new particles, created from pure energy in powerful particle accelerators. In the early 21st century, nuclear power plants provide about 20% of our nation's electricity, converting a tiny fraction of mass of each uranium atom into usable energy. Perhaps even more than his idea about space and time, Einstein's mass-energy equation has had a far-reaching impact on our world and our way of life.
The Einstein आशिल्लो न्ही, he was a sensitive person.
Yeah.
आपल्या इन्व्हेन्शनान आपल्या जे थिअरीन बॉम्ब इन्व्हेंट जालो, he never liked it. So what do you say?
He never liked it. Like he was very much aware of the fact that this could lead to such disastrous
Okay.
things in the wake of World War II. Ata we all knew
इवन
that.
युरोप सोडून गेला होतो बिकॉज ऑफ दिस.
Yeah, he was a Jew, and since he was born in Germany and Hitler was around at the time of World War II, and he was aware that German scientists were taking his theory and they were trying to develop atom bomb.
Okay.
What he did was he wrote a letter to the then president of the United States, telling them that this can be very bad, and you should probably develop one on your own.
To counter, not to throw bombs at each other, but to keep political pressure, saying that do not use it. But unfortunately, America developed the bomb, and he was not exactly guiding them, but he was behind their back, and that led to the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Thankfully, it led also to the ending of the war, but not in a very good way. So for a lot of time, he was very much sad that his contribution led to killing of people, and he turned into a pacifist. He wanted peace. Because science कितेंय आसूं, it has two sides.
Yes, exactly.
So science आमी म्हणतात gives us inventions, makes our life better, but on the other side the
way we
terrific and horrific effect जो सायन्साचो जाऊ शकता हे सर आल्बर्ट आयन्स्टायनान स्वतः एक्सपिरियन्स केल्ले आसा.
I think so, and it must not have been a very good feeling, that
the pain that he felt.
Yeah.
तशें.
So it's all on us how we use science for the good or for the bad.
Yeah. And राज लास्ट काबार करचे पयलीं आमी आतां 100 years of Einstein म्हणून सेलिब्रेट करतात न्ही. What exactly is that about?
So as I talked about the special theory of relativity, Einstein realized that it is not the most general theory. So he came up with the general theory of relativity. In the year 1915, he took 10 years to ponder over how to generalize.
He changed his own theory.
He changed his own theory to fit a much more broader perspective, so to say. And now we stand at 100 years of that phenomenal event that changed the way we look at something known as space-time. These are pretty much heavy funda concepts.
म्हणजे कितें आसा आता हे आमचे एंडिंगाक पावले तेन्ना कॉम्प्लिकेशन सुरू जाले. सो राज हांव एक काम करता, 100 years of relativity सध्या आमी सेलिब्रेट करतात ऑल ओव्हर द वर्ल्ड. Science and everybody else is celebrating Einstein and his 100 years of relativity. So हांव एक काम करता, फुडलो एपिसोडूय बी आमचो आय विल कीप यू हियर एज माय गेस्ट, आनी आमी सुशेगाद आमच्या दर्शकांक कळटा तशें सोंप्या भाशेंत आयन्स्टायन एंड ताज्यो थियरीज, मोस्टली रिलेटिविटी आनी सगळे आमी कवर करया, आनी तो एपिसोड डेडिकेट करया टू 100 years of relativity. कितें म्हणटा तूं? अशें जावपाचें ना तें. पासिंग रेफरन्स वी कॅनॉट मेक जस्टिस टू आयन्स्टायन.
Because we need to tell people in simple words what this means. It's high time that everyone understands.
Exactly. आमी एक काम करू शकतात आमच्या प्रोग्रामांतल्यान की लोकांक अंडरस्टँड जावं न्ही की वॉट इज दिस रिलेटिविटी. ओके, सो हेच पॉयंटाचेर हांव आतां हो एपिसोड काबार करता. हांगा सकल आमची ईमेल आयडी आसा, कितें तुमकां आमकां रिस्पॉन्स करपाचो आसा प्लीज करात. आयन्स्टायन आनी रिलेटिविटी आनी हे सगळे कन्सेप्ट हांचेरूय कितें तुमकां रिस्पॉन्स आसा तोय आमकां दियात. फुडल्या एपिसोडान आमचो स्पेशल एपिसोड आसतलो फुडल्या विकान 100 years of relativity, अगेन डेडिकेटेड टू सर आल्बर्ट आयन्स्टायन. राज म्हज्या बरोबर आसतलो, म्हणून आमी फुडल्या एपिसोडात परत मेळुया नेक्स्ट विकान. आज हांगाच काबार करता. पळयत रावात अंतरिक्ष, अप अँड अवे, ओन्ली ऑन प्रुडंट. सगळ्यांक देव बरें करूं.